Hi there folks, welcome to RRTV. My name's Bernie Weemers and I'm joined tonight by Alex McKellar for the round 8 of the Skip Barber Monday Lights, and we're coming to you live tonight from Watkins Glen. So welcome Alex, it looks like we're in for an exciting night tonight again.
Thanks very much, Bernie. Great to be here again. I'm really excited for this race. The racing here is amazing this week. The track's been outstanding, very, very popular amongst the drivers. It's drawn out some familiar and some old faces here tonight to join us for round 8 of Monday Night Lights. It's fantastic, Bernie.
It certainly is, and we had 57 drivers line up tonight, didn't we? And that's 3 very large splits. We've got in this one 19 of the top Skip Barber drivers in Australia and from across the ocean as well. So if the race I watched last time slot was anything to go by, we're definitely in for an exciting time.
100%, Bernie. The racing here has been tight pack racing all week. Early on in the week, people were figuring out how to drive with the draft and the big packs that exist at this track, or it encourages at least. Towards the end of the week, you found guys had developed their strategies for different situations, made for quite a cerebral experience, you might say, when it came to racing here. But I have to say that the racing I've experienced myself here, whilst the strategy hasn't always been brilliant, the quality of the driving this week has been fantastic. Side by side, every corner on the track you could imagine, and guys racing hard and clean, and it's been really great racing to be a part of.
Yeah, and it's definitely been great racing to watch. So let's have a look at the weather out there at the moment, folks. It's a bit cooler than the last race. It's 36 degrees Celsius track temp, so the guys will definitely be feeling it. Partly cloudy out there. Wind speed 15 kilometres an hour. Now the race length for tonight is 12 laps, so it's going to be in for it's all set for a good race.
Absolutely, Bernie. The track temp here 36, sort of mid-range in terms of what you'll see here. So the times you'll be looking for in qualifying will probably be in the 2:08 range. For the quicker guys, you might see someone sneak into the 2:07s, but in the race more likely you'll see that with the draft into play. So good track temp for good fast racing.
Yeah, it certainly is, and the point score at the moment, folks, after 7 rounds, let's bring that up. So Luke Whitten's leading at the moment on 190 points, but Enzo Cantor is right behind him on 145 points, and Enzo's here tonight to try to close that gap. Mick Gray in third on 125 points. He's jumped 3 spots from last week, folks, and he's looking really racy, so keep a close eye on him tonight. Kevin Henderson in 4th on 116 points, and then Russell Clark rounds out your top 5 on 114 points. But it must also be noted Jason Willman has jumped the most, hasn't he, from 11th up to 7th.
Yeah, Jason, with the big strength of fields we've had the last couple of weeks, has been racing in the second split. It's great to see him back in the top split tonight by the looks. Yeah, interesting to see our top 3, Luke, Enzo and Mick, are really well represented in the Skip Barber Championship overall. Enzo's in 1st, Luke's in 3rd, and Mick is charging with a late season run. He's sitting in 11th overall and performing really, really well on the global scene. So I'm hoping his run can continue here tonight and he can have a great result.
Oh yeah, definitely, and at the moment Enzo Cantor's got preliminary pole. He set the fastest lap, which is a 2:06.846, and he's probably on the last of his qualifying. We can see him now just coming up through the heel, I think it is.
Yeah, he's heading down the straight into the hill now. They've beaten my prediction, Bernie. I didn't think we'd see 2:06s before the race, but they're making a mockery of my predictions there, Bernie. So they're really on fire tonight and looking forward to a spectacular effort once the race starts.
They certainly are, and they're not getting any draft out there because it's pretty much, from what I understand, just lone qualifying. It's just them on the track, isn't it?
That's right, Bernie. Lone qualifying, you get two flying laps after a warm-up lap. Generally speaking, depending on the track, you can make a good half second in your second lap. So we might see some low 206s here if that form holds true.
Yeah, we can see now Enzo coming across the line for the last time. We'll see if he improves that time. He just did a 206.732, or 206.626, sorry. Matthew Thomas snatched pole for a moment, but then it got snatched straight back from Enzo. But it's great to see Matthew out there again. We haven't seen him for a while, and he's looking like he's on the money tonight.
Yeah, Matthews seems to have had a break in the skippies for a couple of weeks. I saw him, I was very pleased to see him racing earlier this week, and great to see him back up the front again. I think last time we spoke with Enzo, he was hoping Matthew might come back because I think he gave him a fair run for his money in the first couple of weeks. So once again, great to see him back.
Yeah, it certainly is. And another name that we haven't seen much of is Troy Burgess has joined us tonight. So it's also great to see him out there. He's qualified in 6th position at the moment. And he'll be looking forward to having a good race, no doubt.
Yeah, I was just checking out Troy's profile. It doesn't look like he's raced unless he's been doing private league series for quite some time. His last races that I see were indeed in the Skippy, but not for quite some time. So great that he can join us here tonight. My memory of him was that he was very quick and a high quality driver. So great to see him back.
It certainly is. We can see Colin out there now. He's one of the last drivers out there completing his fast lap. He's sitting in 4th at the moment. His best time was a 206.942 and he's run out of time. Yeah,
it looks like Colin will be starting 4th on the grid with that time he set in his earlier lap. He might have just been doing a cool down lap to sort of gauge the way the track was holding up. But interestingly, Luke Whitten's only qualified 5th. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world at this track, Bernie, because as we've seen already, the pack racing keeps pretty much everyone in touch.
Yeah, it certainly does. Let's go through the grid very quickly. So Enzo Cantor will start from pole position. Matthew Thomas 2nd. Kevin Henderson, he's starting out of 3rd with Colin Sudi out of 4th. Out of 5th, Luke Whitten. Out of 6th place will be Troy Burgess, followed by Anthony Mansorella. Then we've got Nikita Vavelin out of 8th. Sam Catakazinos 9th. Mick Gray down there in 10th position. Out of 11th, Russell Clark, followed by Keith Sharp starting in 12th. Ian Robertson will start out of 13th with Benjamin Soko out of 14th. Out of 15th, Samuel Collins, followed by Vince Browning. Then we've got Ricardo Reyes de Galarrata. We'll just call him Ricardo. Out of 17th. Out of 18th is Darryl Ridley. And rounding out your field of 19 is Jason Willman.
Yeah, it looks like Darryl and Jason thought the better part of qualifying and didn't set times with a view to start at the back of the grid. They'll have a challenge to get towards the front, but big race like this, anything could happen, Bernie.
It certainly can, and I'm just getting all our things set up here, folks. The revs are rising here at Watkins Glen. We'll be racing any moment. We're under green. Enzo's got a good start, but keep an eye on Matthew Thomas on the outside. Enzo's got a great start.
Yeah, he started off very well as they head into the 90 for the first time. Hopefully all the guys will fall into line here. There's not much to be gained by overtaking here with the big straight and the big toe coming up, but most of the field, Bernie, looks to have got through pretty well at this stage.
Yeah, it's a nice clean start through the first corner. Now they've got to get through the S's here cleanly. I tell you what, if they hit the wall up here, there's nowhere to go, is there?
No, you've got the famous walls right next to you there. Keep you all in check if you get out of line, but the pack racing's already starting up the front, Bernie, and the guys are starting to make good use of the draft.
They certainly are. So we've got Kevin Henderson in the lead at the moment, but he's got Enzo right on the inside of him there, and just closes the door. But Matthew Thomas on the outside now, and it's starting to heat up already.
That's right, Bernie. Luke's sitting at the back in 4th place there, with drivers still all around the place. There was a little touch, nose to tail, Enzo to Kevin there, but they seem to have got through okay. Hopefully Enzo won't have had any nose damage from that and can continue on strongly.
Yeah, and how much, if you do get nose damage around here, how much is that going to affect your your top end speed?
Well, certainly if you're on your own, it's going to be an issue for you. But if you're in a pack, generally it can mask the effects. A little bit more understeer, a little bit down in top speed. But hopefully, I'm just going to check now. No, he hasn't got any damage out of that, so he should be okay, Bernie.
Fantastic, and we just saw Colin Sudi there make a major dive to the inside, and he's got it a bit sideways. He's gathered it up again. He's down in 7th. Anthony Mansarella's jumped up to 6th. Just looking where Mick Gray is at the moment. He's down in 11th, so quite a bit of work to do for Mick to get to the pointy end.
Yeah, Mick's down once off the grid, not particularly uncommon once the draft of the first main straight settles down. He can work his way gradually through this field so long as the packs don't break up too much, but certainly a long way to go and a lot of fun racing to come.
Oh, certainly is. 11 laps around here is quite a long way as we see them all come through the first corner, taking a very wide exit there, making the most of this track. But at the moment, Kevin Henderson, well, he's in the lead, but Enzo's now drawing up, and we'll see the draft as it shuffles the top 5 again.
That's right. What you'll see is if the guys are here, will be trying to race smart early on in the race, see if they can get a breakaway, because once you get a break, it's hard to catch here if you race smart. But still, we've got a big pack of 6 at least. Looks like it's forming at the front, with Colin in 7th trying to get on the back.
And we're just riding there with Luke Whitten. He's currently sitting down there in 4th position. He had a good run last time. Right behind him's Troy Burgess, having another good run. I tell you what, he hasn't been around in the skippies for quite a while, but he doesn't look very rusty out there as he makes a move on the inside of Luke there, and he makes it stick.
Yeah, that corner there, the toe section of the boot, as it's affectionately known, is a fantastic corner. You can run too wide there comfortably. Nice wide corner, but the run in and up through the corner there is brilliant, and Troy made that stick really well as they go through the heel now. Yeah,
and we can I tell you what, it's just great to watch. Mick's now, he's up to 9th. There's a bit of a gap forming. Oh, there's contact there with Keith Sharp.
Yeah, I'm just watching Colin up the inside of Anthony there through turn 8. Guys, want to be careful here. You don't want to make too much of racing at this stage. The important thing is to stay in touch with the lead pack if you can, and not to be too worried about positions, because they can all be sorted in the last lap or two, but if you lose touch, it can be a race done pretty early.
Yeah, and that's where Mick is now. He's at the front of that pack. There's a bit of a gap up to Sam Katakazinos, but he has to close that gap, doesn't he? He needs to bridge it, otherwise he's going to get dropped.
He's sitting about 1.3 seconds behind Sam, who's on the tail end of that lead pack. Realistically, he's going to lose a lot of time here on the main straight due to the drafting effect. His one opportunity is if that big pack then needs a bit of sorting out at the end of the main straight as they head through the carousel, and that can slow them down quite a bit. Hopefully for Mick's sake that occurs and he can get on the back of them.
Yeah, well, that's what he needs to do, and no doubt he'll be working his backside off to make that happen. But Anthony Mansarella's at the moment, he's up there. Sam Katakazinos having a great race, the last of this front pack. But I tell you what, a battle pack here of 8 cars is fantastic.
Yeah, you'll hopefully see that throughout the race, although there's a small gap growing with Enzo and Matthew at the front. The rest of these guys will need to sort themselves out, race nice and smart for fear of losing these guys through the twistier corners at the back end. But at the moment, they're all still racing pretty smart and staying in touch. It's great to see.
Certainly is. And Troy Burgess now, he's worked his way up to 3rd. Luke Whitten's right behind him, Kevin Henderson down there, but at the moment Matthew Thomas, Enzo Kander 1 and 2, they're basically trying to break this pack up, and they can't at the moment.
That's right, Bernie. Enzo had a great performance yesterday, European time, in the 2K Cup. It was a fantastic race to watch. He's very quick. They had a reverse grid race in the second race, and he went from P14 right up to P2, only bettered by Philippe Labert, who went from P20 to P1. If anyone can make a break here, it'll be Enzo and Matthew, I think. The other guys will need to work really hard and stay on their game to stay in touch, I think.
They certainly will, and as you said that, Anthony Mansorella just said set the fastest lap, a 2:06.390.
They're already up on their qualifying time, so the tyres and the cars themselves are warmed up now, and the draft's in full effect. Those guys in the lead pack, the plates, the number plates on their cars don't really mean much at this stage, whether they're highly ranked or otherwise. If they're in that pack, they're in with a chance. So massive race ahead at this stage.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we saw that in the last race. You know, the top 5 there were pretty much shuffling each lap, weren't they, as they got the draft, and the guys that were leading it at the start of that last lap found themselves all the way down in 5th position by the end of it.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. It's like shuffling with the cards every lap at the end of the main straight as they go through the carousel each time. It's really a matter of sorting yourself out, not being too concerned about your positions as we've got 9 laps remaining. All as Enzo and Matthew have a bit of a touch going through the toe there. They look to have got through it okay, and although Matthew's dropped back down to 3rd with Troy splitting them now.
Yeah, hopefully Matthew doesn't have any damage, but I tell you what, he did a good job gathering that up, because I've seen cars there that do connect and they find the wall pretty quickly.
Absolutely, Bernie. It's a nice wide flowing corner. It does give you a bit of room to manoeuvre in those sorts of situations, but they've managed to keep on cleanly now. It doesn't look like Matthew's carrying any damage, and he'll be looking to get back on the back of Enzo as soon as he can, I think.
Yeah, what it has done though, it's allowed these guys to close that gap up again. Troy Burgess is sitting in 2nd, and then we've got Luke Whitten. We're riding with Anthony Mansorella at the moment in 6th as he makes a move on Kevin Henderson.
Yeah, it looks like he might try to make a move up the inside of the first corner, affectionately known as the 90 degree corner. Obviously you want to... Oh, they've gone too wide through there and held it well. That's allowed Colin to get back up on the back, but he's thought better of it as they start going too wide through the S's now. They'll want to be careful. Don't want to make that lead pack a pack of 4 up there, because they'll run away with it, those 4. Yeah, so hopefully they've tucked back in the line now, and with any luck they'll be able to take advantage of the shuffling of the deck as they head through the carousel at the end of the straight.
Yeah, and you could see Anthony there. He tucked straight into the back of Kevin there, maximised the draft. Now he's back on the inside, slingshotting in. But on the outside, Sam Katakazinos, it looks like. And where is he? Is that Sam up there leading them?
Yeah, Sam's hopped on the front of that pack as they head through the chute now. Looks like the lead 4 haven't made the clean break yet. They're about 0.9 behind or in front of Sam on the head of that second pack. He'll get a nice clean run through the toe here and should be able to bring that second pack back in touch with the first one.
Yeah, definitely bridging that gap. We just saw Luke Whitten there running a bit wide, flicking a bit of dust up. Luke's having a good run, sitting in 3rd at the moment, and he's just got to keep an eye on what he's going to do in that last lap, because if you jump too early, as I've said before, you're not going to win the race.
No, you'll get swamped. As he goes through turn 8 now, he's well and truly back on the back of Troy there, sitting in 2nd, so this pack seems to be sticking pretty well together. Coleman may be the only one at risk here. He's nearly a 2nd behind, although he should, with a clean run through this last series of corners through turn 11, hopefully be able to get back on.
Yeah, so we're coming up to 7 laps to go here. It's heating up. And Enzo Kander at the moment, he's trying to get that gap. He just can't do it. But he's at the moment sitting fairly comfortably in the lead, if that's such a thing here at Watkins Glen. Troy Burgess 2nd, Luke Whitten 3rd. Matthew Thomas is sitting back there in 4th and looking pretty racy.
Yeah, well, Enzo just there on the going over the start-finish line there. He started weaving a bit. He still has about a 0.7 now, down to 0.6 gap. He thought he might be able to break the toe there, but Troy stuck on the back, and the guys behind him looked to have just joined in for the ride and hopefully to get back onto Enzo. There was every chance he could make a solo break there. He's got the pace to do it, but the guys seem to be swamping him again at the carousel.
Oh, there's contact.
Big contact.
Yeah, huge. That was Sam Katakazinos heavily into the fence. Luke, let's catch a replay of that. But it looked like Kevin Henderson was also involved there, Alex.
Yeah, it looks like as they've come up into the carousel there. Looks like who's that? Sam up the inside of Luke as they go through the carousel. Luke's just run a bit wide. Sam's sort of probably not braked enough for the carousel there, slipped a bit wide and collected Luke, and then unfortunately for Kevin, he's come along behind that and been caught up in it as well.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the super slow-mo there, and Sam was trying to thread the needle there, but there unfortunately wasn't a gap as we see Luke there coming unstuck big time, but I tell you what, Sam was heavily into that fence, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did a nice little set of flips there. Yeah, I just see it again. They both ran a bit wide, but unfortunately Sam just clipped Luke, as we said, and started as he went outside the carousel there, and then he's come, based on the contact, back in and cleaned up Kevin. Another unfortunate incident for Kevin, this time certainly not of his own making, and then Sam proceeded to do at least half a dozen rolls there, I think, Bernie.
Yeah, it was definitely a spectacular way to exit this race tonight, and that's going to be pretty much his run done. Luke Whitten also, his race will be pretty much run as well.
Yeah, both of them are much done for the night. Luke's trying to limp back to the pits at the moment, as is Sam. I think Kevin just took the quick toe. Fortunately, back up at the front, we've still got a lead pack of three with Matthew Thomas, Troy Burgess and Enzo. Matthew's just trying to take advantage of both Troy and Enzo's toe there to really solidify his position in a pack of three. Behind there you've then got a duo of Colin Sudi and Anthony Mansarella for fourth and fifth, who managed to avoid the carnage, but unfortunately they've got a 3-second gap to try and make up as a result of that to get back onto the lead three. It's very possible, depending on how the lead three race, but probably unlikely at this stage.
Yeah, it's a huge gap to make up, and the only way, as you said, they're going to do it is if these three start racing. They don't seem to be. They're tucking in there and trying to increase that gap, but it's interesting to see Anthony and Colin. They know that they have to work together if they have any chance of seeing the podium tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. Realistically, the way you work together is you tuck in line astern in the back half of the track, really look to maximise your drafting opportunity and just leapfrog each other up the back straight once you go through the S's. If you can manage that, you do have a chance of catching back up. They don't really lose any time through this back section of the track, but they have the opportunity to gain it once they hit the back straight.
Yeah, and as you said, for that to happen, these guys have to start fighting. At the moment, Enzo's weaving, the other two are following and making sure they maximise that draft.
That's right. They should realistically be able to hold on to Enzo here. There is a chance that he could break the toe, but if you're within half a second of overall lap times here, when you're hot lapping on your own of the guy in and around you, it's very hard to get away. Only through mistakes will you see guys drop off generally, or through like the incident we saw earlier. I note further back in the field, Russell Clark and Keith Sharp are in a bit of a battle for 7th and 8th place, as Russell just overtook Keith through the S's there, and that's allowed Nikita Vavilin sorry Nikita, and Vince Browning to look like they might join in there and have a bit of fun as a pack of four.
Yeah, and Keith, he did well in the last race, didn't he? I think he finished third in that race, and he's had a bit of an altercation there. Oh, as he's losing it, but he hangs on. Stop talking him up, he's going to crash.
he did well to hang on to that there. It's really brought the other two behind him, Nikita and Vince, into play though, to make that a battle pack of 4. Yeah, one of the strategies that Keith used last race was to sit on the back of the lead pack of 5. Just sat there the whole race, and then really only got involved in the action as they really squeezed Concertina up there through the toe. Really only got in the action in the last lap, made a couple of spots to finish on the podium. It was smart racing, minimised his risks and maximised his results.
Yeah, he certainly did. And Vince Browning's down here in 9th as well, and he's just got Nikita right behind him.
Yeah, that's right. They're trying to keep that in a battle before. Although if they're going to do that, they'll need to do less battling and more pack racing, if that makes sense. But certainly the action up front still pretty on, with the guys. Enzo's weaving again a little bit up the front straight, and just trying to break the toe if he can. They're within 4 and 3/10 respectively, so it doesn't look like he's going to get away anytime soon.
No, and the gap from Matthew Thomas back to Colin Sudi, 2.8 seconds, as Colin goes extremely wide there out of the first corner. Yeah,
as they go through the S's now, that line out of the 90 there, turn 1, you can run very wide there without incurring a penalty. It does slow you down a bit if you miss your break into the first corner. The gap between Colin and Anthony racing together has, as a result, opened up about half a second there. They were holding their own, more or less, at about 3 seconds. So it doesn't look like they're bridging the gap to make it a pack of 5 at this stage. They still have the opportunity to do so with 4 laps remaining, but I think my money's on one of the top 3 taking it out tonight, Bernie.
Oh, definitely, and just which one of those top 3 are going to take it out at the moment. Enzo's got the lead, but Troy's now starting to work on the back of him. But saying that, having the lead into that last lap does not necessarily guarantee you'll have the lead as you come off the back straight.
No, that's 100% right, Bernie. My preference is probably, if anything, to be in second place. The guy in the lead will probably take the right-hand side of the back straight into the carousel, because it's a defensive line without losing too much speed, and also gives you a couple of corners down the road the inside line into the other opportunity, which is the toe, that great sweeping corner we were talking about before. Third place guy, while he's got the biggest draft, probably clearly has the worst track position, and has his work cut out of him to get in front of the 2 in front. So as much as the draft plays a big part in how they race here, strategy, I think, plays a bigger part, Bernie.
Oh, it definitely does, and you can see them now starting to size each other up. Having a look at that gap, you're right, it's 3.5 seconds now from Anthony Manzarella up to Matthew Thomas, so they're actually dropping further behind.
Yeah, they're probably lapping around the same lap times if I look at them now, a little bit behind perhaps. But they're certainly not going to bridge the gap there. So the race is pretty hot up front now. Our battle pack of 4 down from Russell Clark in 7th down to Vince Browning in 10th. Looks to be shaping up as the other one to watch. Vince looks like he's struggling to hold on the back here, and he might be dropped, with Nikita, Keith and Russell really looking to battle it out for those final few spots in the top 10.
And at the moment, Troy's just made his move, but we can see now Enzo's starting to work. Having a look on the inside, he throws it in, and Troy's holding him off at the moment.
Yeah, they've done well there. Troy's made a solid move, obviously, at the end of the back straight there. He's holding a slightly defensive line as they go into the toe now. Looks like Matthew Thomas is contented at the back here for the time being. Balance of 3 laps remaining, 2 to go as they cross the line shortly. It'll be interesting to see how Matthew plays this. Again, Troy's taking a slightly defensive line into the heel here. Enzo's playing the game at the moment. He's probably happy to sit in second, knowing that the big draft opportunities are coming up.
Yeah, and looking at the statistics, this is the first lap Troy's led. Enzo's led 7 of the 12 out there. Matthew Thomas has led 1. Kevin Henderson led 1, but he's way down in 19th after that incident. But yeah, Troy's just now trying to make a move, and it'll be interesting to see how Enzo goes, because generally he likes to lead, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. He does like to lead from what I've seen of him, what we've seen of him race here. He's not going to make a move here, although Troy's still taking a slightly defensive line. His move will be at the end of the back straight into the carousel. They've kept it nice and clean through there, although Troy's run a little wide there, probably picked up an incident point as he re-entered the track. Enzo sitting only 0.3 behind. He's probably actually lifted a little bit there, if anything, to sort of maximise the effects of the draft. If you're too close and you try to overtake too early, you miss out on the draft. And actually Enzo looks like he's back right off here. He's pretty happy in second place this time, Bernie, and the strategy's starting to play out. As you see Matthew actually pull out of the draft entirely. He's happy in third place. 1.5 laps remaining as they go through the carousel now. The strategy's really starting to come to the fore.
Oh, it certainly is, and we're riding there with Enzo, and you could just hear him just lifting off that throttle, pretty much coming onto the main back straight there, just keeping Troy where he wants him, but not wanting to take this lead coming up to the last lap.
No, that's right. I imagine we'll see Enzo, and he'll be in the middle of the back straight of on the last run through. Again, Troy's shown his hand a bit early. He's happy to take a defensive line and lead the race at this stage. So it's really shaping up now as Matthew as well. It'll be interesting to see what his strategy is in third place. He'll get the best of the draft, but like I said, probably the worst of the track position and the hard yards ahead of him.
Yeah, and the trick is who's going to blink first, and they don't want to blink too early, because if they do, they'll find themselves out of the running to win this race.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. I think throttle control through the S's as they head through turn 10 into turn 11 for the penultimate time. Throttle control through the S's to position your car not necessarily left to right on the track, but how far back in relation to the car in front to maximise the drafting opportunity and the overspeed at the end of the straight. They're holding station as they head over the line for the penultimate time, and they're onto the last lap as they go through the 90 for the last time.
Yeah, and Matthew goes deep under brakes there into turn 1. He's ranging up on the back of Enzo. We're riding in the gyro cam here at the moment, and it's just going to be a matter of when Enzo's going to try to make this move and what Matthew's going to do here.
Absolutely. Enzo really managed his gap there. He left it about 0.3 of a second. If anything, he's gone a little bit early in the draft, and you can see, as we suspected, Troy's going to hold the right-hand side of the track, the defensive line there, but Enzo's cleared him right out, and look at that, Matthew ranging up the outside. Now Enzo's got the advantage here, both into the carousel and into the toes. They go 3 wide. Oh, big contact there, and Matthew's night looks to be over there, unfortunately.
Yeah, and so is Troy's. He's got a bit of damage to the rear of his car, and he's gathered it up though, so he should hold on to second here.
Yeah, Anthony Manzarella's closing, as is Colin, straight behind. There's about a 1.3 second gap. Riding Troy's hasn't got too much damage there. He should be okay to keep that gap. Enzo now, the big beneficiary there, he's in front on the last lap and looks to be odds on to take out yet another Monday Night Lights, Bernie.
Yeah, it's definitely fallen his way, hasn't it, after that contact? But I tell you what, going 3 wide into that sweeper, it's if they had pulled that off, I would have tipped my hat.
Yeah, look, last lap, it's probably where it's going to end up. I've seen a lot of 3 wide racing through there work very well this week. The quality and the driving standards have been really up. Unfortunately, that time it didn't work out. I would put it down probably primarily to Matthew sitting back for quite some time and not really having had practice at running through there and where he needed to brake properly. But we'll have to have a look in replay as Enzo now comes to his famous wiggle across the line.
Yeah, so it goes Enzo Cantor first. Troy Burgess comes home second, third, and having a look, Colin Suttie pulls out. He just doesn't have enough. So Anthony Manzarella third, Colin Suttie fourth.
Looks like Mick's now come across the line in 6th place, only up 4 positions from the grid. So once again, the old stage has come through and had a great result. Good bag of points for him there, Bernie.
It certainly is. We're just going to go back to this incident, folks, and have a look at how this unfolded and try to dissect it a bit and work out who was where and all the rest of it.
Yeah, like I said, I think, Bernie, I'm just sort of trailing back to it now. As they came through that final straight, you can see the three of them ranging up together. You see Matthew have the best of the running on the outside, but he's actually squeezed Troy. He's cut in a bit too much. Troy really had nowhere to go there, and as Matthew sort of tried to make the best of the apex that he could, Enzo's got through scot-free. He managed to get that primarily defensive line on the inside of the carousel, probably the safest place to be. Yeah, and the two of them unfortunately have come together there, Bernie.
Yeah, we're just having a look in super slow-mo here, folks, to work all this out. I like my super slow-mo. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're good fun. Yeah, I'm just watching it myself. Yeah, probably, if anything, I'm just watching from Troy's perspective there. He's not really turned in soon enough, or perhaps as much as Matthew was expecting. Matthew's taken quite a direct line to the apex, and Troy's not really turned in. Probably a bit concerned about the line Enzo was taking on his inside. I don't know if Troy runs 3 screens and had good visibility, but yeah, that's an unfortunate incident in that lead pack, Bernie.
Yeah, it's definitely a racing incident. I'm just looking at Troy's car control there as he's trying to gather it up there. And it's so easy to overcorrect these cars and spear off, but he's doing a great job.
Yeah, the tail's right out there, and as you say, he's hung on to it very well. I'm really struggling to apportion too much blame there. As you say, I think it's just a racing incident. The only thing I can put it down to is, like I said earlier, Matthew sat at the back calmly for quite a number of laps leading into that. My own experience of that is both with myself and with other drivers I've raced with. If you sit at the back, it can be very hard to judge, distances and apexes and things, and how wide you need to go and the space you need to give the guys on the inside if you sort of haven't had a practice run at it. It's one of the benefits of racing in the pack is you get all those perspectives in line. You increase your risk, of course, during the race, but maximise probably your practice at the end. Yeah, again, I call that a racing incident. Obviously, no one intended to do it, and that control, as you say, from Troy with the back end right out there to the left, he's done well at a couple of stabs at it too, Bernie.
Yeah, and we're just having a look at the replay here of the battle between third and fourth. That's Anthony Manzarella, Colin Sudi, and I want to have a look at how close this was, because I'm just trying to get a gap. It was very close, let's put it that way.
Yeah, look, they've done really well through the last series of corners. I'm just watching it now, Bernie, as they've gone through turn 8. Colin's had a look up the inside. Anthony's held his line well, given some room. There's not really much draft through those final turn 10 and 11. If you're lucky and the guy sort of misses his line a little bit through turn 11, you might be able to get past him. But Anthony, while he's clipped the inside curbing there, it wasn't enough to get Colin past. Unfortunately, he's really come close there, only sort of half a car within it, but not quite enough for Colin in the end, but he'd be happy with 5th, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. And before we go to the interviews, folks, let's go through the final results so you can see where your favourite driver finished tonight. So round 8 win goes to Enzo Cantor, followed by Troy Burgess in 2nd. Anthony Manzarella comes home in 3rd position. 4th, Colin Sudi. 5th, Matthew Thomas, followed by Mick Gray in 6th position. Nikita Vavelin moves up into 7th. 8th was Vince Browning, followed by Russell Clark in 9th. Benjamin Soko comes home in 10th. 11th, Keith Sharp, followed by Darryl Ridley. 13th, Samuel Collins. 14th, Jason Willman. Ricardo Ruiz de Galarreta in 15th, followed by Luke Whitten down there in 16th after that incident he had with Sam Catakazinos, who came home in 17th. Ian Robertson 18th, and Kevin Henderson, also involved in that earlier incident, comes home in 19th position.
Yeah, Bertie, it looks like Vince Browning's the biggest mover of the night. He's up 8 positions to finish in 8th, so he started well back in 16th. And I've got to tell you, with the racing that goes on here and some of the draft pack racing, it can be a bit of a lottery where you end up. But he's held his own there in the packs, and 8 spots is a big gain in this field, Bernie.
Oh, it certainly is. It's a huge gain, and starting out of 16th, if you get into the top 10, which he's done, it's a pretty good achievement. But let's bring up our round winner, and that's Enzo Cantor, and I might let you take this interview, Alex.
No worries, thanks, Bernie. G'day Enzo, Alex McKellar here, mate. Welcome back to another Monday Night Lights. It's great to have you back. You've had a week or two off. I messaged you up during the week. I thought it might be due to the earthquakes over there in Italy, but I was glad to hear you were just having some family time. Racing was hot tonight. Unfortunate incident to finish the race, but you've come home with another victory. How'd you find the racing tonight?
Yeah, hi Alex, hi Bernie. Yes, it was very, very hard racing today, very rude, but so much fun here, as always on this track. Like yesterday in 2K Cup, today it was a really, really hard and fun race. I know Troy is an hard breaker. I knew it could be a very hard battle with him, and in fact it was. I'm very sorry for Matthew, because it was not his fault. He was waiting for the last lap to make the move, and I think it was completely Troy mistake there. But that was so much fun till that.
Yeah, it looked like a great race to be a part of, Enzo. The racing here, I don't know about you, but I found it to be really exciting throughout. A lot of strategy to play out, a lot of pack racing where if you get the right guys around you, it can be a blast. 2-3 wide through most of the corners here. It's really a great track for the skippy. Is that how you found it?
Yes, I really like this track because here is a matter of draft and tactics, but it's something like another sport, as you can do at Le Mans or here or in Spa-Francorchamps, for example, in the skippies. But I like this track because you can battle every lap, every corner for all the race, and you have so much fun. Today I had not a strategy in my mind. I was only battling to have fun because Matthew and Troy, I know they are both good and clean drivers, so I was sure, almost sure he could not do any contact, but yeah, only the last lap I was waiting to be not the first one in the straight, but for the rest of the race I only thought to battle and have fun with Troy and Matthew.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun out there, Enzo. Well, that must cap off a great couple of days for you. I caught the main race of the 2K Cup, reverse grid start. You were in 14th and made your way through to second. That was a really fun looking race, quite spectacular, and the driving there was fantastic as well. So a victory and a second place here in 2 big races for the week, mate. Very well done. I'll hand you over to Bernie now for any questions he might have.
Yeah, Enzo, well done, mate. And we're actually riding with you the second last lap there, and we could see how you were just feathering that throttle to make sure that you remained in second for that last lap. But it looked like your strategy pretty much played out to plan tonight.
Yeah, it was my strategy. If you saw the 2K World Cup yesterday, in the last lap of the main race, I was in first position, and then we all slowed down in turn 1 in order to not be the first the first car in front of the lane in the straight. So we were 6 wide, incredible, and that was some battle yesterday. Today I wished to not do the same thing. So I waited in second. I let Troy get the gap, the right gap, 0.4 seconds in order to keep the draft and have the right speed to be the first one in the carousel. And I think I did it very well. And again, I'm very sorry for Matthew because he did a very good race till that point.
Yeah, he certainly did. And before we wrap this up, there's another question I've got for you. Where is your mate Stefano? We haven't seen him for a couple of weeks, and I've been practicing his name, and I need to say it to see what you guys think of it.
He is okay. He's fine. He has some trouble. I think at work he had a lot of things to do. But I hope next week he will come back here. I said to him we miss him, and I hope he will come back.
Okay, now I'm going to say his name, and you can score me out of 10. All right. So it's Stefano Poloniato.
Stefano Poloniato. Repeat.
Oh, I thought I did all right there, Enzo. So Stefano Poloniato.
Oh, almost. Not Stefano. Stefano
Poloniato.
Okay, you're very good.
Fantastic. Well, Enzo, we should wrap it up there. But before we do, as always, let's have a shout out of all your sponsors and people that have helped you get that Skippy sorted for tonight.
Yes, thank you. As always, I have to say thanks to my team Ivano, my teammate Fabio Mantellini, Maria Concetta for logistics, and all my teammates, all my sponsors, Trustmaster, DRL, and Cube, and in particular, again, my team and my teammates, because they always support me. And yesterday they all were watching at the Race Spot broadcast. Also, Jose Maria Lopez was watching at it, so I'm very pleased to be in this wonderful team, because they are they are teammates, but they are also my friends.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for that, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And next week's New Hampshire, so it's going to be a Roval type track, so it'll be interesting to see how popular that layout is for the Skippy drivers.
Oh yeah, New Hampshire is another game which you have to think about strategy and draft. So I think it would be again so fun like today. So yeah, I will be here again if my child agree, and and yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun again with this car on that track.
Fantastic. Well, we should let you go and have your lunch, because it's probably just past lunchtime over there in Italy, and I'm sure you've worked up a bit of an appetite after that race.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm going to have lunch, and yeah, I say to you good evening and good night.
Yep, good night, Enzo. Well, Alex, I thought I was onto something there, but obviously he didn't even give me a score. That's how good my Italian is.
Oh, mate, that was great. The strong E there, I think, is where we need to work on, the Stefano. But I'll have a crack at it next week if you like, mate.
Yeah, you can have a go. I'm still trying to work out Magalatini and all those other names he can pronounce so quickly.
Yeah, look, they certainly put the challenge before us, but we can only keep working on it.
That's exactly right.
And it actually feel it.
Sorry, Troy, for bringing you up in the middle of conversation. Well done, mate. It's great to see you. Firstly, it's great to see you back in the Monday Night Lights. You haven't been around for quite a while, but it looked like you hadn't missed a beat. You were strong all night and came home in second position.
Yeah, thanks, Dad. It's my first race on the Skippy for about 12 months. So I just happened to be at home and liked the track, so I thought I'll give it a go, but didn't qualify really as well as I liked. But in the end, I think I qualified sixth, and the second was okay.
Yeah, and it looked like you guys are having a great time out there. We're watching you come up through the field gradually, and coming into that last lap there to be fighting it out for the top three was fantastic. It looked like I don't know if you've been racing elsewhere, but it just didn't even look like you've been away from the Skippies for 12 months.
I haven't been racing the Skippy. I've been racing GT3 and a little bit of the Formula Renault, but I haven't had a Skippy race for ages.
Yeah, well, it's definitely great to see you back out there tonight. Now, looking at that last lap incident, I just want to get your point of view, how you felt it unravelled between yourself and Matthew Thomas there coming into that final sweeper.
Well, look, I was in the middle, as you probably saw, and they both sort of moved a little bit towards me, and I probably gave Enzo too much room in the end. And I think I thought initially when I was racing that Matthew turned into me, but I probably gave Enzo a bit too much room and drove a bit too straight into that corner and probably hit Matthew, which I do apologise for.
Oh, it's pretty easy to do though, especially on that last lap when all three of you are jockeying for that position and sort of the temperature, we could feel it rising. But one thing I thought was fantastic was the way you saved it after that contact. You were definitely doing a Van Gisbergen drifting session out there.
Yeah, I was very, very close to losing it. Actually, don't know how I held on to it in the end. I thought for sure I'd lost it. Because I was still travelling at fair speed when we hit, so I tried to wipe off as much speed as I could, but it was a bit left, right, left, right, left, right.
Yeah, it had the Skippy had two goes at you to try to see if you could spin it, but well done on there. I'm going to hand you over to Alex McCullough, and he might have some more questions for you, Troy.
Yeah, g'day Troy. Sorry, mate. Great to have you back with us. I know that, as you say, it's been a while. Over with Bernie, mate. The sound of you driving tonight was like you'd never left. Doesn't look like you had much of a chance to race this week here. How'd you find it out there in such a hot field?
Yeah, I had one practice session yesterday afternoon for about 15 minutes, so I did a few laps and I seemed to be going okay, but then the qualifying lap wasn't as good as I wanted to. Like yesterday, I did a low 206, and then I think the best I did tonight was a 207, so there was definitely time there to be made up. And I really didn't get a chance to have a practice before the race. Really, the qualifying were the first laps I think.
Yeah, well, mate, with limited practice, you've done very well. You've held your own with some of the best in the world, as you may be aware. I don't know how much you've raced with Enzo before, but he won the last Skippy season overall, and he's miles out in front this season, and certainly performing well on the global stage. So to hold your own there, mate, was a top effort. You should feel very happy with the result.
Yeah, no, I'm very pleased. Yeah, no, me and Enzo have got a bit of history and a few series before. But yeah, I know he's quick. Probably the draft helped me tonight because I don't think I would have kept with him, but hadn't been the draft there. But yeah, this track is what it is, and that's part of the racing.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Well, congratulations again on a successful return, and I'll just hand you back to Bernie, mate.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, before we let you go, Troy, are there any sponsors or anyone else you want to thank for getting you on the grid tonight?
Yeah, just the team, All Star Motorsport, and our race corp. Thanks. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, once again, it's great to see you back. Hopefully we might see you back next week if you've got some spare time, because it'd definitely be wonderful to see you out there on the track again.
Yeah, I'll definitely try. I've had a lot of work commitments and I've been doing a lot of travel, so it's difficult to know from one week to the next whether I'm actually going to be home on a Monday night. So I'll definitely try. What track is next week?
I think it's New Hampshire Road Oval.
Oh yeah, I don't like that track very much, but I'll try and make it.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't think I like the track much either, but just between you and me and the viewers, but it should be interesting. But anyway, Troy, thanks for coming up. Congratulations on your second tonight, and hopefully we'll see you back on the track again sometime.
No problems. Thanks, Bernie. Thanks, Alex.
So our final interview tonight, folks, is Anthony Mansorella. He came home in third, and he was having a great battle there with Colin Sudi. So I'll bring him up, Alex, and as always, I'm a team player, so I'll let you start.
Yeah, thanks, Bertie. G'day, Anthony. Alex McKellar here, mate. Looks like you had a top five finish tonight after an unlikely top five, I would say, after the way the race was playing out. Big incident in the end. How'd you find the racing out there tonight?
Yeah, hey guys, how you going? Yeah, I mean, racing was great. This track always brings excitement. You guys would have seen that on the broadcast. Personally, I don't mind the draft and all that. I don't prefer it, but I mean, it always brings good racing, close battles. I mean, you can battle with every corner here, so I sort of loved it. But to come home in third, I don't know how that was possible, but yeah, I'll take it again. I always seem to just get the luck these last couple of weeks, to be honest with this.
Yeah, have you had much chance to race here this week? The racing I've found's been pretty amazing at times with the right guys. 2 and 3 wide through most of the corners here, and the draft with a big effect. How have you found it yourself?
Yeah, I've done about 3 races here this week. I generally don't do a lot of races. I do a fair bit of practice, but you're right. The races that I've been, apart from this one, have always been close battles through every corner. So you just got to make sure you can trust the guy on the inside or the outside of you to give you room, and you can have a great battle for the whole race.
Yeah, that's certainly the way I found it too, mate. It was unfortunate you dropped that front pack, but like we say, a great podium finish to end your night with, and some great points on offer here, both for the overall championship and Monday Night Lights, of course, mate. So congratulations again. I'll hand you over to Bernie.
Yeah, well done, Anthony. It was great to watch you and Colin battling it out there for 4th and 5th for most of the race after that first incident. But I tell you what, you must have felt all your Christmases had come at once when you saw Matthew and Troy come together on that last lap.
Yeah, I did definitely, and even I lost the front pack because I think it was Sam, Kevin, and Luke had the accident in the carousel, and I don't know how I avoided Sam flipping over the top of me. The car didn't seem damaged, so I just kept on pushing forward, and me and Colin thought we would just work together, but unfortunately it didn't work out. We're just like, we'll just battle. But yeah, on that last lap when I think Matthew had the accident with Troy, I was just like, yippee, I'm taking third. So I'm really stoked about it.
Yeah, it was a really good effort, and we were actually keeping an eye on the gaps because we could see you and Colin working together, but unfortunately the top 3 were also working together, and we could see you guys slowly dropping back, but it all worked to your favour. But I tell you what, the battle you and Colin were having was fantastic, and he didn't give up, did he? He even had a lunge at you on the line.
Yeah, and he was saying that on the mic. I was sort of stuffed up. I think I dropped the gear too early in the last corner, which screwed my run. So, lucky I just held him off to take third. But yeah, he's always a great guy to battle with, and I enjoy fighting battles with him.
Yeah, fantastic. And we saw a couple of your guys were down at PAX on the weekend. I'm not sure, were you one of them, or who was it from ERA that went down for Logitech?
Yeah, Logitech gave us a few passes to go to PAX to as an endorsement, sort of to show off their play seats at F1 2016. I think it was Project Cars. Thanks Logitech for giving us the opportunity for that. So it was Simon Feigl, Marcelo Riviera, Benjamin Smith, and Zach Hanlon. They were the 4 that ended up going. I was busy, unfortunately, so I couldn't make it. But yeah, those guys did a great job, and we got plenty of photos, so they're all up on our Instagram and our Facebook page for everyone to see.
Fantastic. Well, I'm definitely going to check that out. I'm just looking at the replay here of that incident earlier on, but I've lost where I'm at. But anyway, before we let you go, Anthony, do you want to give a shout out to all those sponsors, including Logitech and everyone else that backs you guys?
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Bernie. So yeah, thanks all the sponsors for our team. MPMS Racing Simulators, Logitech G, JRT Real Timing, GTI, Maverick Welding, and MS Limited.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for popping in, Anthony, and well done once again. 3rd position tonight. Fantastic effort, and I'm glad you enjoyed it out there.
Yeah, and as always, after this, I'm going to go watch the broadcast you guys do, which is an excellent job, as always. So I'll lie in bed and watch it till I fall asleep.
Well, you should only probably get in the first couple of laps and you'll probably fall asleep.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Well, have a good one. We might see you next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate the job. Yeah.
And I've just got, at the moment, the replay of Anthony Mansorella here, Alex, and I'm going to try and super slow-mo to get Sam Katakazinos doing his barrel roll over the top of him.
Yeah, that was quite an impressive incident, I have to say. Yeah, the carousel can be, a great place to race, but it can also end in tears, as we saw a couple of times tonight. Had quite probably the biggest impact on the race. Judging your marks at the end of the main straight with the draft and the difference in speed. I mean, just to give you an indication, Bernie, if you run there solo, you're probably looking at low to mid 190s in terms of kilometres per hour, but if you're in the draft you can do anything up to about 205, so it doesn't sound like a great deal, but if you're racing within half a metre of the guy beside you or in front or in and around you, it can make a massive difference in terms of your judgment of how to run side by side with someone. So certainly had the biggest impact tonight anyway.
Certainly did, and we just got the super slow-mo there. I tell you what, Anthony was very lucky that he didn't get rear wing damage there, because Sam's car actually did go through his rear wing.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it myself, Benny, but from my recollection of it, certainly from what Anthony said, it was a major moment for them, and I've had that experience myself where a car's sort of flipped over the top of you, but yeah, you're always a bit scared about the damage you're going to cop from it. It's always a bit of a lottery, actually, what the net code or where the server thinks your car is in relation to others, but no, he's kept on going and ended up with a great result.
You certainly did, and looking at the fastest lap tonight, that actually went to Sam Katakazinos with a 2:05.868. So he took something out of tonight's race, and that's the fastest lap. But I reckon he would have been really strong if that first incident into the carousel hadn't have unfolded.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, along with Sam, the only others in the 205s, which is a fantastic time around here, are Enzo and Troy. So even, draft notwithstanding, it shows that Sam was right on pace. And yeah, as you say, as I've just gone through that incident now, as it turns out, very unfortunate that his night's ended that way. Not through his own making largely, I don't think, although it's hard to say. Not being in the seat yourself, how things have played out, but he's done very well, and we hope to see him back next week for a great performance.
Oh, definitely, and it was interesting tonight. The two big incidents we saw tonight were both in the carousel, both very similar incidents, really, weren't they? In at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. As we were saying, that it's just about judgment there, and if you're doing it lap after lap, you can sort of get your eye in as to how both the guys around you are driving, but also how to take the corner yourself, whether it be on the inside or the outside. There's etiquette, and then there's strategy and how you play. Ultimately, you just want to get through there safely so you can have a crack the next lap. But tonight ends the major part of the racing week of what was, I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but the most popular week we've seen this season, Bernie. I've only tallied the numbers for the first 6 days of the week, but we're already, in terms of participation, 500 drivers up on any other week the season so far. Immensely popular track, also the highest average top split strength of field. We only managed probably a top 5 in terms of our strength of field tonight for races in the week, but in the context of the popularity of the week as a whole, still really pleased with that outcome. Great that our regular local drivers get a chance not only to compete with the best drivers in the world, really put themselves up there in terms of the overall Skip Barber Championship season. As we mentioned before, we've got 4 or 5 guys in the top 25 drivers in the world, with Luke unfortunately not having a great result tonight, but flying the flag for the local guys, running in 3rd in the championship overall. So once again, a great opportunity for the local guys, Bernie.
Oh, it certainly is, and it's great. Great to see with the Monday Lights. It does give them that opportunity to score big points, and that's what Monday Lights is all about, is trying to not only have its own series, but to try to get that strength of field up for Australia, so these guys don't have to stay up all night catching the overseas races, so to speak.
Yeah, that's 100% right. The racing overseas is where, generally speaking, your big strength of fields are and your big points are on offer, and it's really hard for the local guys to compete for the overall championship without such an opportunity like we have here. And it's great that we're into our 6th season now, and we've really almost built a brand, you might say, where the guys can come out and score good points and perform at a really high level each week. So once again, thank you for your support, because you really add to the mix and add to the popularity, and that's a big draw card to have you here every week, mate. So thanks again for your support.
Yeah, no worries. Well, the racing's awesome and I enjoy calling it, so it's no problem on this end. But folks, we're nearly at the end of tonight's coverage. If you like your V8 supercars, tune in Friday night. We've got the SDRT V8 Supercar Enduro, and it's going to be a 4-hour race around Phillip Island, so that's going to guarantee a great viewing for your Friday night. And then, of course, the following Monday, we've got the Monday Night Lights. Looking further into the month, pencil in the 19th of November for the final round of the Australian Endurance Championship. It's going to end at Le Mans for a Le Mans 24-hour race, and I reckon it's going to be a ripper as well. So, we're nearly the end of the year, folks, but there's still quite a few good events that we will be covering as Christmas looms. And I won't say any more about that. But anyway, Alex, it was great having you up here again, calling the race, and it all delivered tonight. And it was good fun.
Yeah, absolutely, it was, Bernie. I was just thinking back on it. I didn't know where to look the first few laps, the way the action played out. So got a bit tongue-tied again, but hopefully we put on a good show for the viewers. I know the drivers certainly did, and hopefully we'll see a lot of them back next week.
Yeah, definitely. And folks, you'll definitely see Alex and myself back next week. But until then, on behalf of Alex McCullough, I'm Bernie Weemers, and thank you for tuning in, and we wish you a good evening.